Okay.
All right.
Yay. Huh? You can look at mine if you need to.
I think I'm on camera.
Well,
Virtual people joining. Thank you for coming out tonight. I'm the event coordinator for Left Bank Books, so I'm really excited for every event, this one especially. My name is Shane. Yes. We do have a lot of upcoming exciting events for Pride, including Viktoria signing with us tomorrow in the Pride booth. We also have Esme Smith, who is a middle grade queer fantasy author. We have 3 poets joining us on Sunday, and then a sci-fi author who grew up in St. Louis, coming back to town, Nikki Alexander. So I'm really excited of the wide breadth of authors that we are bringing in for Pride, and it's been a lot of fun to work on. So thank you for being a part of so much of Pride.
excited to be a part of it.
When you support Left Bank Books, your money not only is keeping our doors open, but St. Louis, Left Bank Books is St. Louis's oldest queer-owned, woman-owned independent bookstore. We've been around since 1969, and we are largely queer operated, if you cannot tell. But we do close to 200 author events per year. We do events all over the city. We have traveled with authors, and it's really a pleasure to be able to produce an event series of that magnitude and having underrepresented voices as part of our mission for that series. When you support Left Bank Books by buying your books here, your money allows us to continue producing events like that, but they are also producing tax dollars, tax revenue that goes directly into the St. Louis economy, keeping the libraries free, the parks free, and the streets paved. So that's what your money does when you buy from a local independent bookstore. So thank you for being here and for supporting Left Bank Books. I will keep the rest of my introduction short so that we can have some fun chatting. But yes, here we go. Viktoria Capek is the Communications and Development Manager at the Venture Center, a nonprofit in Arkansas where she drives communication, public relations, and content creation strategies, focusing on economic and entrepreneurial growth with an emphasis on inclusivity for women, people of color, and the LGBTQ plus community. Her career first took off in broadcast news in Little Rock, where Viktoria advanced to lead overnight breaking news reporter and TV host, addressing issues like the gender wage gap and underrepresentation of QTBIPOC individuals in broadcasting. She holds a master's degree in arts journalism from the University of Southern California and has received a National Arts and Entertainment Journalism Award. Beyond her role at the Venture Center, Viktoria has managed media for the Athena Film Festival in New York City, a women's leadership-centric event, and founded Hairpins, a bi-monthly event for queer women in Arkansas. Through these initiatives, she continues to be a vital voice for change, creativity, and resilience in her community. Tonight, we are here to celebrate Dear Reader, which is for Swifties everywhere. This guided journal with interactive prompts and questions, complete with stunning illustrations, and a silky ribbon explores all the literary Easter eggs in Taylor's lyrics, revealing the best part of her personal library, from the bell jar to the Great Gatsby. And now, would you all help me and please warmly welcome our guest for the evening.
Thank you. That was so uncomfortable. It's fine. I wrote that bio, and it's like we do a lot. My wife and I, we do a lot, and Dear Reader and Taylor Swift is just like one part of it, and it's really exciting to get to share this special part with people who are Swifties or are not necessarily Swifties, who are literary lovers, who are people who enjoy having conversations with people. And for anyone who is watching this online, hi as well. If you're seeing this now or seeing it later, I just want to make this pretty much a conversation. That's what I like to do, is I like to talk to people, including this baby that really wants to have their voice heard today. No, they deserve it. So I'm going to ask you guys a little bit about where you're at with things. Man,
Okay.
We're really going through it. Okay, so I'm gonna go full news reporter for anyone out there right now. So we're sitting here in Left Bank Books, and there seems to be a disturbance on the scene. There is a child who's really having a bad Friday, and it's better now, and that's good now. It's kind of like a lullaby. I just like soothe it to sleep. That's fine. They're gonna start crying again. Anyways, yeah, no, I just like to get to know people a little. So Lena, I know a little bit about you. Moved here tonight in '99, English major, but you're a Swiftie as well, so that's good to know.
Yeah, but I went into pharmaceuticals
Okay.
because apparently an English degree is nothing.
It's good to have in your back pocket
Yeah.
for analyzing the world around you. I feel like
Yes.
there's a lot you can get from it for that perspective.
Yeah. And then back in 2015, I had a massive stroke. And that changed the trajectory of my life.
Well, glad you're here today. My goodness.
Yeah, but not good because I ended up, the thing that I was doing with my life in pharmaceutical business, which was regulatory affairs, which they, that job entails reporting changes to the FDA. Well, FDA wasn't doing their job because they didn't include a warning when they approved this drug that I was taking.
I'm sorry.
So I had to, make them aware of that, and they put it in, but they just acted like, oops, our bad.
Wow.
Yeah. And then.
But your life changed after that. You took a different
Yeah,
path.
but now I'm on disability, and they say that, they're not supposed to discriminate. They do. So I've gone like 9 years without a job. And the whole thing is, my doctor's office called it into the wrong pharmacy. And if it had been called into the right pharmacy, it would have been caught.
I'm sorry to hear that. I want to say, though, it's really important to continue showing up for things that you have joy for, that you care about, that you love talking about. And I hope that this is a conversation that you find yourself feeling like it took you out of the shit of the world for a second, and it allowed you to talk about something that you really love to talk about. So I'm really grateful that you're here. Thank you for being willing to share that. When did you become a Swiftie?
I think I've always liked her, but ever since she started to write more intense stuff that was relatable,
you were resonating with it a lot.
Yeah.
Her deeper stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll come back to that in a little bit. I want to know about you, girl. Why are you here? Why are you here right now?
Actually, I didn't just discover Laura, my friend, came into town, and they love independent bookstores. So we came here one day, and I was like, "This is a really nice bookstore." So then I recently started coming back to the book that I come here, read for like an hour, and then I'll leave.
You're looking at this. Yeah. I'm that too. No, it's fine.
I have a book on pre-order here. So
Okay.
Yes, but yeah, I let's get to Swiftie. I listen to Bad Blood.
Yeah. Okay. So you're very loose level with it. Yeah.
It was that's the only song I guess.
Yeah.
I think this will help. Deepen.
No, yeah, I read it a little bit.
Yeah.
You really go in depth with it.
I try to, and whether you're, because I know, listen, I'll be the first one to tell you, I do not like Taylor 99% of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's controversial to say when you've written a book about Taylor Swift, but one of the things that I really like to focus on is her as an artist. I don't necessarily love to focus on, everyone always wants to talk about who she's dating or who she's engaged to or who that and this. And Dear Reader, it started as a class that Whitney and I launched in Little Rock, Arkansas just last year. And it picked up speed really, really fast. The first 10-week iteration of the class that we took, we ended up with over 90 students from across 14 different states, right? We ended up doing a
Was
different.
this a class for a university?
It wasn't. Yeah, it was actually. So the background of that is here. Why don't I go back a little bit more with it, right? I was telling you guys a little bit about how I got my master's in Los Angeles. So arts analysis, arts and culture writing is what I love doing. And so 2022, Taylor's album Midnights came out, and Taylor Swift's music is something that we have always found to be a bonding point between us. And so when we had first gotten together in 2022 and this album came out, it was really fun and special for us to sit down and listen to the songs together and start talking about our ideas of it.
Is this a folk album?
No, Midnights. So Midnights is her 10th album, and it is more of like a poppy, like
All of her songs are
Synthy.
poppy.
It's like
Oh,
synthy,
yeah.
and like it's like 12 different midnights of her life.
yeah.
But it's like very synthy and like
People look at this as her like stoner album,
Yeah.
which I think is really funny. Yeah, she has a song called Lavender Haze where she does look glazed like the whole time in the music video. So that was kind of like, it was like vibes, and that was after her like folklore evermore era, which is what I think you're thinking about there. So that album came out, and we were just like sitting down talking about things, and I, through those conversations, started noticing something in one of her songs, Antihero, that Whitney just brought up. And it was this idea that she was portraying in the music video of there being two different Taylors, right? There is Taylor who is wearing all white. She's not like super energetic. She's kind of like more reserved. And then you have Taylor who is the glittery like pop star making other Taylor like take shots, and she's like wild and crazy. And so I always thought that was really interesting because it felt like I was looking at two versions of Taylor Swift the person and Taylor Swift the brand. And it made me think of this concept. Stay with me on this. I'm a super theater nerd. And it made me think of this concept from one of my favorite plays growing up, which was Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest. Yeah, you're familiar with it. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so that is, there's a concept in that play called bun burying. And for very like simplicity sake, bun burying is this idea of living a double life, right? And so in the play, they make up this character, Mr. Bunbury, so that the main characters can use Mr. Bunbury as an excuse to get out of the social obligations that they had to do in their like rich London socialite life. So they can basically go be little shit boys somewhere else, essentially. Yeah. So I felt like in the Antihero music video, I was seeing this kind of idea. Like Taylor had Taylor Swift the brand so that she could go off and do what she needed to do so that Taylor Swift the person could exist the way she needed to exist.
Yeah, like she could be, I have a condition called aphasia. It's word finding difficulty.
It's okay, yeah.
It can be how she was a role model, but she doesn't want to be a role model all the time. You know, this is like, she doesn't necessarily want that role, but she
has to be it most of the time. Exactly. Yeah. So I kind of saw that idea playing out, and it made me start to think, well, you know, Taylor has talked about her love for literature and English and everything in the world of the literary world for her entire career. You know, she has
poetry.
Exactly.
Like
and she's
that.
Talked about how, you know, if she were to teach anything, she would teach English. And she's told, you know, Vogue and Elle magazine that she just absolutely adores Shakespeare. She, you know, blatantly references Romeo and Juliet and All's Well That Ends Well and these different Shakespearean plays in some of her works. And so in combination with this bun bearing idea, it made me start to wonder, are there deeper parallels to literature and her work that maybe we're not seeing, whether it's a direct reference, an indirect reference, or even just the themes that we see in literature growing up? Themes like unreliable narrator, that was made popular in The Great Gatsby. Themes like romanticism, gothicism, coming of age stories, movies like To Kill a Mockingbird. People probably aren't thinking of To Kill a Mockingbird and Taylor Swift in one foul thought. Like most people probably aren't
They're
thinking
not
that.
making the connection.
Exactly.
I also think it started where it was like, oh, maybe it's outside of Shakespeare when she said Tolerate It and Rebecca.
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, she's going deep.
She's going into some of these
classical
like
literature.
deep cuts stories that we grew up reading. Were you guys, so you were an English major and did you?
I was a county major. So how did you get into being a Swiftie if you say you don't like her 99% of the time?
Okay, that's
Like,
a fair question. That's a fair question. No, I did when I was a lot younger. I like her. I do like her. I like her music. As a human being, I think she's made some interesting choices in the last few years and that I don't necessarily agree with, which is why I say I struggle with it sometimes now because, you know, there's a lot going on in the world and it's not that she's the only person that needs to solve the world's problems, but I think she has a lot of influence and could be doing more sometimes. That said, I understand the other perspective. So I will keep that one silent because I know that crosses some people weird sometimes. But when I was younger, she had an album, Speak Now. It was her third studio album, and Swifties know this is what she calls her angsty album, right? Taylor Swift is
the one.
Yeah.
Trouble.
Trouble's not on that one. Trouble is it probably should be. Trouble is red, but this was her
over.
yeah, where she gets a little more like angry. But no, this is the album where she said she was really heavily influenced by bands like Paramore and Fall Out Boy. I was an over dramatic theater kid and a little emo kid when I was in high school, right? So I was always listening to bands like Paramore and Fall Out Boy, and so when she came out with that album, I could sense the angst in it, right? I liked the theatrics of the whole thing and the drums and songs like her song Haunted. And she would get on stage and when she was performing, she would just be so angry and she'd be throwing chairs off the stage. And it was, I mean, it's hilarious because, you know, she's a 6 foot, gangly, not angry looking blonde white woman at all.
And also that era was very purple and sparkly.
Yeah.
And fairy tale, but she was like so angry. I was like, this is
so the dichotomy of it was very
Yeah.
dramatic. And so I think I really resonated with that as an also very dramatic high school student at the time. And so that's kind of when I feel like I got into Taylor Swift's music and I've sort of just been following her ever since. And I was a casual fan, right? You know, like I bought some of the albums, I'd drive around in my car and listen to them and, you know, started downloading the music onto my phone. Like I think the first songs I downloaded onto my phone would have been freshman year of college, and that was 2014, so 1989. And that was when her album 1989 came out. Then
You're so young.
Yeah, I just turned 30, so I'm
Oh
you
my
know,
God, you are young.
I am. Yes, no,
Okay, so you're Virgo.
I am. Yeah, right on the Libra cusp. Yeah. What are you? Yeah. Okay. What are you?
Yeah.
I'm a Leo.
You're a Leo.
Yeah.
So you get the theatrics, though. You get it. You get it. Yeah. When so okay. So you have questions? Go
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, I like it.
So when did you start, like, you know, I listen to music just casual.
Yeah.
I just listen to it. And like if I feel something in my heart, then I just keep listening to it.
When did I get crazy?
Yeah, when did you
Yeah.
start taking apart the lyrics?
Totally. Yeah. So circle that back around to, you know, I started seeing like the Oscar Wilde reference and thinking about other things of literature. Honestly, when I first moved back to Arkansas from Los Angeles in May of 2023, I didn't have a job. I didn't have a job for a while. So sometimes you have to find ways to feel happy, right? You have to find things that fill your time, that make you joyful. And so
You're an overthinker, aren't you?
I am totally an overthinker. That's an understatement of the century. So, you know, I started sitting down and just listening to her music, and it was fun for me. Like, I really enjoyed getting to analyze her music. And so I started just like literally I had Google Docs, like just notes pages of references, rabbit holes of references that I started seeing, these connections to classic literature. Like I said, these themes that I was seeing. And I was like, well, you know, I noticed that in, you know, she talks about Alice in Wonderland here and when she's referencing, in her song Folklore, she says this lyric. I don't know if you know this one, but she has a lyric in the song that goes, and who am I to let some name drop? What is it?
You said Folklore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Her album Folklore. It's a song called The Lakes. And the lyric is like, who am I to let some name dropping sleaze tell me what are my words worth? Okay, play on words. William Wordsworth is the father of the Romantic literary movement. And that song is all about the Lake District, which is where the Romantic era writers like William Wordsworth,
So brilliant.
Samuel Taylor Coleridge.
Way too nerdy.
Yeah. They like went to.
It's such a
crazy,
high
right?
level.
So, and that's like one of the references
And
where I was like,
albums come out so fast.
yeah,
too.
she's literally, she's Hamilton writing the Reynolds pamphlet, right? Like she's just going. And so.
She's such a gifted. I mean, throughout, like, she just takes on challenges.
It's phenomenal.
Like water or like haunt. And
Yeah,
like, go down.
We like to follow
Yeah.
one word and see, where does this come up in her different songs? And when it comes up, does it seem to be a metaphor in the same way? And so that, it kind of was just like a hobby for me for a while. And I remember October of 2023, Whitney and I were driving back from New Orleans, and we always run into this period of time on our drives where we don't have any service, or like, I guess we talk to each other or something. So, we had this idea, we were just chatting. I was like, well, what if we just take all this information that's swimming around in our brain, this dozens and dozens of Google Docs of pages that I have, and we did something with it? What if we taught a class? And we knew that was immediately the right thing to do. And we had a local bookstore at home that we had friends who had worked there, who were big Swifties. And so reached out to them. The bookstore is called Paper Hearts Bookstore. And we said, would you be interested in partnering to be like our official host for this class? Because another thing too is like the rise of like Taylor Swift analysis classes became very popular in universities, right? Like I feel like Harvard, NYU, Boston University, they're all doing it. But the thing is how many people are going to Harvard, right? Like how accessible is that? It's not. And so something that I really wanted to do was make this content very accessible to people. So we had a really low cost for the class. It was a 10-week class, and
well, how could you, like, who did you offer it to?
Yeah.
Was it online?
It was a hybrid class, and what we ended up doing was anyone who was in Little Rock, they were welcome to come in person, but then we would set up Zoom calls as well, and we had a whole online audience as well, which is where we reached the other 13 states.
Camera on the audience and on Victoria, and then all of their faces. So all across the country, they got to know each other.
Yeah. So it was very similar to, honestly.
I would love to be in that class.
Well, stay tuned, because my announcement at the end is that I am doing another version of the class, but we'll chat about that in a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, it was very cool, and it was very, like, I always wanted to make it very discussion based, because I have all of these ideas, but art, and this is one thing that I always wanted it to be a very big lesson when it came to talking about this content, right? Taylor Swift is an artist. Whether we love her or we hate her as a person, I think most people can agree her music is pretty brilliant, right? Like it's popular. There's a reason people like her. And as an artist,
people hate her too.
Well, people hate her too.
Yeah.
We know that. But when people like her art, it's because they're drawn to it in so many different ways. And art is meant to be subjective, right? And so when I had this idea to put together a class and then eventually a book about the literary connections I found in Taylor's music, that's just one analysis of her work. I always wanted the class to be very discussion-based and this book to be very journal-esque and prompt-heavy and discussion-based, because your analysis and what you're seeing in Taylor's music is just as important as what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing might not be what you agree with at all. And so I never wanted it to be, this is a textbook, this is what you're supposed to see, this is what you're supposed to believe about it. Because that takes the joy out of the experience entirely. So that's a little bit of background, and we got into the class, and yeah. What is so okay. I want to come to you because I know you're the Swiftie, but I'm so much more interested in talking to you because I want to know your true thoughts. I want to know. So you know the song Bad Blood.
Yes, 50s. I was like, I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bad Blood. I think I saw that the award. What is it? They sung it Kendrick Lamar at the I don't know. No, isn't it? I don't think it was. It was like later in the year.
MTV.
Is it MTV?
They probably won one of the awards. Yeah.
No, when she introduced the video to
Yeah.
everyone, like,
Oh,
wow.
yes,
I'm
yeah.
not sure if it is, but that's when I first heard it. I was like, oh, this is pretty nice.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I started listening to that, and then of course I listened to all the other albums because I actually like the music video that they put together. That's kind of. I didn't go into all of her albums, but that was nice. That's kind of how I started with.
What kind of music do you normally like? All of it?
So I listen to right now. I've been listening to "The Problem" by Morgan Wallen.
Oh, okay.
I listen to Big X the Plug. Like that song changed me as Texas.
What do you like about those songs? Are you a lyrics or a music person?
It makes
Usually?
me feel. I like music that makes me feel.
Okay.
And then usually if I go listen to it and I read the lyrics or something, they kind of mirror something that's going on in my life, and I notice that's why I'm connected to it. And then when I don't feel it anymore, that's when I feel like either I've healed whatever the hell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it's just
Okay, hold on to that. Tell me, what is your favorite album era, and I don't know, what is some Taylor songs? You said you like some of her her more real stuff, her deeper stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, I like the Anti-Hero.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't buy her albums or anything, but I did buy the one I can't remember. The Clara Barton one.
Clairbo.
Yeah.
Torture Poets Department.
Yeah. And I really liked her song. Oh my god. It's the Aphasia. The first song that came off of it.
Fortnite?
Yes.
Nice.
And I loved the video.
Yeah.
And the detail she put into it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just every detail was just awesome.
It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you seen this one?
No.
It's
You know, Post Malone's in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got it on my phone.
We don't have to watch it right now, but
it was just amazing. And the lyrics, it's I was trying to figure out what it meant, but I was applying it to my life. And it was just haunting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was trying to figure out what it meant towards the end. It started off really deep.
Mm-hmm. And then when Post Malone comes in, it's kind of
this
is nice. That's my favorite part because it gets lighter. Yeah.
Yeah. But in the beginning, especially in the video when she's got all that stuff on her face and then she wipes it away and then so does he.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's just, I don't know, that's just symbolic.
What does it all mean?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then Ethan Hawke and,
exactly.
So I think that's something that
it's profound.
It really is. And I think, even I don't know, I feel weird being some kind of Taylor Swift evangelical, right? I don't, but I do at the time. I feel it's kind of what I am a little bit. I get that because I wrote this whole book about it, but it's I am always fascinated by the people who don't listen to her music, because you made the comment earlier about isn't it all pop, right? A lot of it is. Most of it is. Technically classified, yes, it's going to be classified as pop. I think the first two albums are going to be classified as country or whatever. But I think you nailed it perfectly. You saw parts of yourself, you were really connecting with Fortnite, and you talking about music that you want to relate to. I always think it's really interesting the way Taylor Swift's writing is so universal that she's able to connect with so many people. And I think like, you know, one of the ways she's able to do that, and I'm trying to just like bring it back to this because I feel like this is more of just like a conversation that I'm having about Taylor Swift, not so much the book. When you want to look at the book, you can look at the book. It's fine.
No,
But, yeah.
I feel like it is kind of, you know.
But to that, you know, I actually kick off this book with this idea that Taylor Swift is so good at making everyone see themselves as opposed to like her saying something specifically. That's what makes her an unreliable narrator, right? So, for example, the whole first chapter of this book dives into this concept that was made popular by Nick Carraway, who's the narrator of The Great Gatsby, who famously, you know, he tells this story, but he's so infatuated with his neighbor, Gatsby, that you don't know if he's telling the true story about what Gatsby has been up to because he's just very biased towards him. And so, yeah, right, right. And so it's really interesting to think about Taylor as this ultimate unreliable narrator because she's telling so many songs and stories that we all think is rooted in her life, but they're also very good at reflecting our lives too. And so that was one of those things that made me, you know, wonder, no, you know, how are we to trust the story that she's telling, you know, and can a singer of a song be an unreliable narrator? Well, when you think back to this idea of Taylor Swift the person versus Taylor Swift the brand, if Taylor Swift the brand is just a character that she's playing, why couldn't they be an unreliable narrator of the songs that she's singing and the stories she's putting forward? Yeah. What do you think about like when you think of it that way? Like, do you think of other songs or ideas that you're like,
it's
maybe
giving me a new perspective.
That's great.
Well, I mean, you have a lot of songwriters who write songs for artists as well. Like, for instance, that Dolly, what is it? I Will Always Love You.
Yeah,
Not Dolly Parton, but no one can sing it like Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we don't know if she actually went through something like that. Is that why she speaks it so passionately? Or
Prince sing or write it for her? Or didn't Prince originally write that?
I think Dolly got the credits on it.
Oh, really?
I mean, but yes, to both of those points, there's a lot of crossover with like a lot of artists. And so it's kind of like whether it is, you know, one artist writing for another artist. It's always interesting to think about like the performer as just that, like a performer, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times we take musicians at like face value and we see them as like they're just singing their truth all the time. But they're celebrities, you know, like they're performers as well, and they have to put on that performance. Someone, I think I recently saw a TikTok video that was like, okay, so Chappell Roan, we know that Chappell Roan, I can't remember her real name. It's like Kaylee something. Yeah. So her real name's Kaylee, but she goes by the character of Chappell Roan. Yeah. Lady Gaga, we know is Joanne, right? So, but she goes, it's Stephanie. I don't know.
Joanne's a song.
Joanne, sorry. She's Stephanie, right? And then, I don't know, like T-Pain, right? His name's not T-Pain. But these are all like characters that they're playing.
Yeah.
And I think the thing with Taylor Swift that is really like, I'm kind of trying to break the facade people have is like Taylor Swift, although the person and the performer have the same name, it's still a character that she's playing. Yeah. Right. And I think that's
like it is like her brand. When I want to make this connection, it's not as much literature, but more of like seeing her for her character and her person. So in the Eras tour, she's performing Antihero, and she is it Antihero? Mm-hmm. Yes. She is, it's like, I'm the problem, it's me, and she's in her glittery outfit on the stage, and she's like waving to everyone. And on this giant screen behind her, it's like Taylor Swift the person from the music video, like literally the height of the screen, like smashing cities and like waving and being like, look at me. But like no one, we brought it up to our class and everyone was like, what do you mean? And we played it and they were like, we didn't even see that. Yeah. Like everyone was looking at her like this big, whereas another her is this big, being like, no, look at me. So it's just so interesting to see the like contrast of what they're looking at and why.
Yeah. I think
And same
that's
with the lyrics.
kind of like a big reason I feel like this project even exists is like, I think as passionate as we are about the music, and we love, of course we love talking about in private who she's dating or who she's engaged to and blah, blah, blah. And, all that stuff.
It's all irrelevant, really.
Right. It's like I'm so much interested in her as an artist. And I think if we can break that facade a little bit more through like looking at her lyrics and her work through whether it's a literary lens or a musical lens, like, oh my God, I wish I was someone who had like a music brain, right? Like I wish I understood sonically like the structure and the production of her songs, because like that's a way I would love to look at her music at some point in my life. Like I feel like I might teach myself literal music production just because I want to know how she approaches her songs sonically, why certain parts are sped up and why certain parts are slowed down, why she repeats certain songs and certain things, but we did another iteration of the class in the fall that was based on Whitney's background, which is film, actually. And so we did Taylor Swift in film. And so we looked at her music through the lens of Mexican cinema and connected some of her work to Pan's Labyrinth. And we looked at French New Wave, and we connected her work to Cleo from 5 to 7, which is like a 1950s, like, French New Wave film.
Does she not do documentaries and like lots of interviews you guys can analyze?
Because it's a lot of it is like when she was writing Folklore and Evermore, she said she watched Pan's Labyrinth over and over, and so like, well, I have to go rewatch that. And so watching it from that lens is like, there's so much, and even just certain like when she says like Close Encounters, like I know just a background film, just like references, but also titles where I was like, okay, let's look at Close Encounters, or let's look at all these different films and see if there are different music video shots or just lyric references to movies.
I mean, through stuff like that, I think like one of my, and I don't want to like hold you guys super long because, there's only a few of us here, but I think like if I had like one major takeaway from anyone who picks up this book, whether you're like a Taylor Swift fan, a literature fan, or you like actually hate her and you're just like, you just want to know why someone could write 264 pages of Taylor Swift analysis. It's that like, it's another piece of art. And you can hate art, but still spend interesting time analyzing it and enjoying the analysis, right? Even if you don't enjoy the final work. And so whether it's through literature or film or music, or my God, I think you could even do a whole, we've joked about teaching we've talked about teaching a whole class on Taylor Swift and classic art, like literal visual art, and how she's taken influence from visual artists. And she's like basically now all but confirmed there's a specific piece of art, The Fate of Ophelia, that goes in hand with her new album that comes out a week from today. And I don't know the actual artist's name, but there is an art piece that she has now referenced in the cover of her album. And so any way that I think you can analyze Taylor Swift's body of work, I think makes her stronger as an artist. And I think it makes people's means of talking about her just so much more interesting. Because, the bow at the end of my conversation is I think we're all over the narrative that it's always just Taylor Swift and whatever boy she's dating or breaking up with or whatever, right? Like, whether you love her, if you love her, you want to talk about the work she's done, not just the men she's dated. If you hate her, you don't want to talk about anything she's doing. But I think what we can all agree on is finding a way to bring nuance to the art that she's doing is a lot more interesting of a conversation than talking about what she is doing in the media.
Yeah, that's always what it's meant.
Yeah. So
No one's gonna know the real her.
Yeah. But it seems like this is something that you already enjoy because you like looking at like the Easter eggs and.
Okay, what is an Easter egg?
So I think it's basically just like a clue that someone leaves to, so that, I think of like Pixar movies, right? Like there are like Pixar Easter eggs from different Pixar films in all of the different Pixar films. So I'm trying to think of one right now. Like in Finding Nemo, okay? You know when the fish are escaping and they're rolling across the highway to get into the ocean. Do you remember that? One of the cars that I know it's been a while. It's been a while. I don't know why this stuck out in my brain. One of the cars that drive by in that scene is a Pizza Planet car. Pizza Planet is, excuse me, I just burped. Excuse me. It's from, sorry everyone online. I'm disgusting. It's fine. But it's Pizza Planet is from Toy Story. And so that is an Easter egg from one Pixar film to another. And so, you know, Taylor leaves Easter eggs to whether it's her literary Easter eggs, like the Wordsworth lyric we talked about, or Easter eggs to other songs, like the way in her song, Champagne Problems, she uses the same piano melody in that song that she does later in her song Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. To me, that's an Easter egg referencing back to that same song. But why? Like, why is she referencing it? That's the question I want to ask now. That's what I want to know is, why is she doing these Easter eggs now? And how is she using them to make her music layered and interesting?
So, do you find these Easter eggs? Do you have to listen to it over and over and over?
It's an encyclopedia of words.
Yeah, I actually have like one of the bookmarked, like, you know, you can like bookmark websites on your phone. Like one of the bookmarks on my phone is a Taylor Swift lyric searcher. So literally you just like go in. I mean, like when we were talking about how
They have an app for that?
It's a website.
It's a website?
It's super easy. Like the entire website's a search bar.
Here it is, Taylor Swift lyric search. And you could just look up the word like water. 23 matches were found, and it takes you through where that word
Every
comes
time
up,
it says
what the lyric is, what the album
They've
it
got
is.
something for everything, don't they?
They
It's great.
do.
I'm
This is
happy.
like truly like this is maybe one of my most used websites. But we'll just you know, we get bored sometimes on our drives. We travel a lot, and I don't know, it's like the last hour and a half of every drive we're like, okay, well, do you want to start making some connections? And so what we do is we just like we'll listen to one song and then we're like, okay, well, let's think about it from this way. Start the song over again. Okay, well, when she says this, what could that mean? Start the song over again, and we'll listen to it 4 times, and then we let it take us to another song that we think that song connects to, and it's probably psychosis. But borderline. It's okay.
If it's 2 of us, we can just confirm it's not.
Totally. There's no confirmation bias there at all. Yeah. But it's at the end of the day, though, it's something that really, you know, it brings a smile to our face. It's fun. It passes the time. And, but yes, to answer your question, sometimes I will listen to a song like 4 times. Like literally next weekend for the new album coming out, right? So to answer your question, we are doing one more iteration of the class. It'll be online only, and it'll be a 6-week condensed version, pending everything goes okay. And it'll start on October 6th. So that Monday, right after the new album comes out, and our first class is going to be a literary deep dive into the brand new album. So that weekend, I'm going to have to listen to the album multiple times, write a whole class, a 2-hour class, and then teach it on Monday.
Is this through a school or is it like?
No, it's just through me. Yeah, I literally,
just
it's literally just through me.
And it's just going to be for fun.
It's just for fun. Yeah, I have like signups are $100, and it's 6 weeks, and it's 2 hours for 6 Mondays in a row. Yeah, so that's the idea. Is we the first week will be the new album, and then the other 5 weeks, 2 through 6, will be 2 chapters at a time working through the book, and it'll be going into kind of the connections we have in here, but then really going into those discussion questions. And then now that we have the new album, finding through lines from the new album that we can connect back to the topics we talk about in this book.
We have some people from the first class doing this again because they were like, we want to.
They love it so much. Yeah.
Just all made friends with each other because of this. Like all of them have best friends now. It's great.
Yeah.
But What ages do you have?
All over.
All of them. My gosh, that first class we had our
15-year-old.
yeah, we had a 15-year-old Sammy who like she was literally in high school reading like these things for the first time, which I thought was super cool. And it goes up to we've had I don't know, like 65-year-old retired English professors who were like, we just miss being in a classroom. We want to be back in it again.
We had moms and daughters. We had recently divorced women.
Yeah,
I
I
had to do something.
It was really, I mean, like to say that we like met some of our best friends in that first class too, just because we all had this like shared joy of something we loved doing would be an understatement. Like one of the women that we met, actually, we just got married in May. And so she officiated our wedding.
Oh,
And
she did?
She did. And
Yeah.
this was just literally like a mom who signed up for our class. We didn't know her beforehand. She was like, all my friends make fun of me because she's like 45. She's like, my friends make fun of me for liking Taylor Swift. And I just wanted to do this. And she would bring her 13-year-old daughter sometimes. And we like now love her daughter and support her daughter. And she loves us. And it's pretty awesome how like communities can happen through stuff like it. So yeah.
Especially in a world this crazy.
That is very much the truth.
It's nice to find an ally.
Yes.
Very much that.
So since you guys are like literary geniuses, so that music video with Look What You Made Me Do,
Yeah.
and then she had all these different characters of her, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What's the difference between that and the anti-hero?
That's a good.
Like what's the
That'd be an interesting go back.
It
Like,
is.
to go back and look at it.
I don't know if there is a difference, honestly,
Yeah.
because I think the idea is that she's kind of like proving to us, look at how many different versions
Oh, yeah.
of me there are. And so I think that is a particularly interesting video because it's like she is basically saying all these versions of me are dead.
yeah, I love
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is her revenge. Actually, in that music video, there is a scene where she is sitting on a throne, and etched into the throne is et tu brute, sorry, it's Latin, which is and you, Brutus, which is from Julius Caesar, that Shakespeare wrote when
Julius stabs.
when Julius stabbed Caesar. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Stab Caesar.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the Mean
Mean
Girls
Girls
line.
line.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I want to get the order right. So yeah, that's a reference to William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, and it's this idea that like this version of Taylor is coming back to get revenge now. And so when you think of it through that context of like her being the one killing off all of her old versions of herself.
And then in that I Can See music video, they're like rescuing all of it.
They're
like,
rescuing,
breaking them
yeah.
out.
They're-
Which was an older album. So it's just in so many different things. And the Eras tour, they're all in glass boxes. It's like,
there are several visuals where she has multiple versions of herself.
yeah.
And so, I feel like you just kind of like pointed out a very like important through line that a lot of people I feel like don't notice. They don't notice that,
Is that
I don't know. It could be. I think it could be. I think that I like to hope and think that there's going to be like answers to the Taylor Swift cinematic universe that comes out in this album that comes out next week. Because I always am like, what's going on? And I feel like, I don't know, maybe it'll unlock some questions that we have, but also it might just give us more questions and not unlock anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where would we find the class?
Yeah.
What website? Or...
Are you on Instagram by chance?
Yes.
Okay. If you actually just go to my Instagram page, it is in my bio. And it is, you can just click on the bio and there will be links to figure out how to, and there will be more information about it and everything there. And yeah, we would love to have you.
Okay. What's your Instagram?
I will put it in for you.
Okay.
And to anyone, I like that your last lookup was Hannah Einbinder. Love hacks. Yeah. We're going to be Deborah and Ava for Halloween. If you.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, she's gonna be Ava.
No, I'm going to be Deborah. I'm going to be Deborah, baby.
No, I
Do you watch Hacks?
What she did at the Emmys or speech.
It was great. Yeah.
The best.
It was very good. But yes, okay, if there is anyone out there watching this, first of all, thank you for being here. I know that this was more of like a table conversation with the group here, but I hope that you get something fruitful from it. If you are interested in Dear Reader, I know that Left Bank has copies that you are able to order here. And if you are interested in being a part of a bigger class for Dear Reader, classes start October 6th at 6 p.m. Central Time. It'll be on Mondays, 2 hours for 6 weeks. And you can sign up for classes at my Instagram, which is at Viktoria Capek, spelled ViktoriaACapek. Anyways, that's that. I don't know if I'm supposed to like, yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, I feel like I'm like talking to like, yeah, that's fine. I'm talking like, Shane, where are you? Yeah. Thank you.
All right. And to everyone joining us virtually, thank you so much for being here. Victoria will be with us in the park tomorrow, signing at 2.
Yes.
And doing a little talk chatty thing. So if you are able to make it to that, that's fantastic. If you are not, we do have books available for mailing anywhere in the country. So if you would like a signed copy, be sure to order one on our website, left-bank.com. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
So, where do I